Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I am the Sci-Fi Horror Guy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today I was tagged by Chucky Doll to do the favorite action movies of the franchise tag, which is very similar to the horror tag that I did. You just take a franchise and pick your favorite movie out of that franchise. Pretty simple. In the description I will list every single action franchise. So if you want to do a response video, please do so. I'm not going to tag anybody, I'm just going to leave it open to that, because Chucky Doll pretty much tagged all the people that I probably would have tagged. But anyway, some of these I actually probably won't give an answer to because I simply have not seen them or don't even own them, or just I'm not interested. So, but most of them I have answers for. Alright, number one is the Terminator franchise. Now I know you can pick more than one favorite, he did say that, but I'm actually going to do what I did in the horror tag, is just basically pick my absolute number one favorite out of each franchise. For me, it is the Terminator, the first one. Now I know a lot of people love Terminator 2 Judgment Day, including myself. I love it. One of the best sequels ever. This movie is more like a horror film. It really is. You cannot stop Arnold in this movie. He's intimidating. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. But yeah, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is just one of the best sequels ever made. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the first Terminator. And, you know, I haven't seen Dark Fate yet, so, I mean, who knows? Maybe that one will be my favorite. Probably not. Not even close. Alright. Next is the Rambo franchise, and again, they're coming out with another Rambo movie here soon. Rambo Last Blood. You know, that could be, you know, that might end up being my favorite. But as of right now, mine is Rambo First Blood Part 2. This is the quintessential Rambo film right here. This is what you call Rambo. Now, I love all the Rambo films. First Blood, fantastic. The only thing about First Blood is, you know, he's going against a bunch of cops and stuff. It just doesn't seem, you know, like he doesn't kill as many people as he does here. Here he's going against an entire army, okay? This is the Rambo film right here. Machine guns, arrow, you know, bow and arrow, with his knife. This movie, like I said, is the quintessential Rambo film. But like I said, it's not saying much because I love all the films. This is just the one that I would pick. And I know a lot of people would probably pick First Blood. And that's understandable. I love it. So, that is my pick for the Rambo franchise. The next one is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise. That includes the old ones, and even the newer one, the 2014, and then Out of the Shadows and whatnot. But, in my opinion, there's only one good Turtles movie, and that is the 1990 Turtles film. This movie was directed by Steve Barron. It was very dark. They actually got Casey Jones right in this movie, unlike Out of the Shadows, where he's a damn cop. I mean, they screwed up Casey Jones in that movie. I'm sorry. This is where this movie, they got him right. This is how Casey Jones is supposed to be. But yeah, this movie, it had great effects. It was dark. Shredder was badass. Great music. This has one of the best soundtracks. I own the soundtrack to this and the second movie. Amazing soundtracks. 9.95. Shredder's theme. Just awesome stuff, man. Turtle Power. Yeah, this movie, I remember seeing this. Yeah, I actually saw this in the theater. And yeah, this was great. That's my favorite one, hands down. I didn't even need to think about that. Next is the Lord of the Rings franchise. And my pick is Return of the King. Now, these are long movies, and some may say that they're overrated. I really like the franchise. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge diehard fan, but I think these movies were very well done. Return of the King is my favorite because I like a lot of the action, the battles in this. You know, there was a really good battle in Two Towers, in the dark and stuff. That was pretty cool. But Two Towers is kind of drug on. I don't like the whole forest thing. And Return of the King is an epic conclusion. You know, Frodo finally get to the mountain. They're going to throw the ring in and stuff like that. You know, it comes to an end here. So I really like Return of the King. Next is the Avengers franchise. Basically, Avengers, Age of Ultron, and then Infinity War and Endgame. Now, I still think this is one of my favorite superhero films of all time, even though, you know, I love the other Avengers movies. I would say, for me, Age of Ultron was probably the weakest. But this is definitely my favorite, and it's the first Avengers. The first Avengers movie is so well done. It's what I wanted in a superhero film. You know, everything. I love all the characters. Hulk steals the show in this. You know, this is my favorite. And like I said, Age of Ultron is probably the weakest for me, and then it goes Endgame, and then Infinity War, and then this at number 1. So. Alright, next is the Iron Man franchise. So you basically got Iron Man 1 through 3, and that's a no-brainer. The very first Iron Man, of course. Love this movie. Jon Favreau. He's a very talented director. And this is where it all started, right here, with Iron Man. And it pretty much ends with him, too. Alright, next is the Mission Impossible franchise. Now, let's see, I don't care for the second movie. I think the third movie is underrated. Fourth movie I like. Rogue Nation was pretty good, but this one is my favorite, and it's Fallout. I was blown away by this movie, how much action and stuff. You know, Henry Cavill was awesome. I just was blown away. I love everything about this movie. I mean, this steps up the action from Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation had a lot of action, but this one has a lot more. So, for me, my favorite one is Fallout. It used to be Ghost Protocol, but since I saw that, I really like it. Next is Hellboy. I'm just being honest here. I don't care for the Hellboy movies at all. I don't see what the big deal is with Hellboy. Ron Perlman, he looks awesome as Hellboy. I just never got into the movies, to be honest. And I never saw the newest one, so I could really care less about the Hellboy movie. So I'm not going to answer that one. Men in Black. I haven't seen the newest one, the International or whatever. If I had to pick a Men in Black one, I'd pick the first one. I did like the third movie for what it was, but if I had, you know, like I said, if I had to pick my favorite, it'd be the first movie, definitely. But I'm not the biggest fan of that franchise. I don't even own any of them on DVD or Blu-ray or anything, so that's the one I'd pick. Next is the Transformer movie franchise, and that was a no-brainer. Bumblebee. I think this was done the best. It was closest to what, you know, this is what fans wanted. Having the robots look as close to G1 as possible, because I'm a G1 fan. I grew up in that era. And I thought they did a really good job here. Kind of shies away a little bit from the Michael Bay universe. Even though the first Transformers I can watch as a time waster, it does have some really cool scenes and visuals. But I thought this did it better as far as story, and it's set in the 80s and stuff like that. Just a really cool soundtrack, and I like the characters. So next is the Expendables franchise. There are 3. And my favorite is the first Expendables. I thought this was a better action movie. I thought it was grounded, a lot more grounded, and not so hokey as the other ones. You know, part 2 was basically like a mockumentary. You know, they were having fun with the movie. They weren't taking it seriously. But as an all-out action movie, I just enjoyed this one more. I thought it had better music choices. better battles. Yeah, just everything about it I really like. Expendables 3 is garbage. I hate it. But I also like this. Expendables, the director's cut. The extended director's cut has an amazing opening. I love the opening to this more than I like the opening to the original cut, theatrical cut. This one is, you know, has different music choices. Not all the music choices are the best, but this definitely has an awesome opening. So I would suggest you check out both cuts. See what you think. Pretty cool. Next one is the Rocky franchise. That's a no-brainer. I'm a huge Rocky fan, so my favorite is the very first Rocky. It is a masterpiece. This movie is a masterpiece. Okay? Amazing. That's all I can say. Now, back then, when I was a kid, I probably would have said my favorite was Rocky 4. But I appreciate movies a lot more now, and the first Rocky has heart, emotion. It just, the acting is superb. It's not all about montages and music, and, you know, it's got a great score and it does have great music, but it's not all about that like Rocky 4. Next is the Lethal Weapon franchise, and my favorite is Lethal Weapon 2. Even I do like Lethal Weapon 4 a lot. Actually, you know, all the Lethal Weapon movies are pretty good, but Lethal Weapon 2 is the one that stands out for me the most. Next is the Fast and the Furious franchise. My favorite is Fast 5. This one kind of went in a different direction from where they were going. They introduced The Rock in this one as Hobbs, and I think he played Hobbs the best here. I don't like his new version of Hobbs. He's just basically The Rock. Here, his version of Hobbs was kind of like religious. Well, not religious, but he did things old school and stuff like that. He had a different look to him. I wish he would go back to that instead of being The Rock, you know, clean shaven and, you know, look, I don't know. It's just different. Next is the Superman franchise. You can, you know, talk about the Superman movies, the old ones, or even Man of Steel. And I like all of them except for a chosen few. My favorite is Superman 2, Christopher Reeves. Even though I love Superman 1, I like Man of Steel, and I don't like Superman 4. Next is the Planet of the Apes franchise, and I'm talking about the newer ones, you know, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War of the Planet of the Apes. If I had to pick one, I'd pick the original Planet of the Apes, 1960. I would pick that one, but I don't think he means that. I think he means like the newer ones. If we're choosing out of the newer ones, I'd pick Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I thought this was a much better film than the other two. Next one is the Red franchise. I've never seen any of the Red movies. I just never really got into it. Never really got around to it, actually. But yeah, I can't answer that one. Next one is the Death Race franchise. My favorite would probably be Death Race 2000 with Sylvester Stallone. That's an old movie. Yeah. Next is the RoboCop franchise. My favorite would be the very first RoboCop, the original, for sure. Next is the Indiana Jones franchise, and I love all the Indiana Jones films except for Crystal Skull, but my favorite is Temple of Doom all the way. This one is the darkest out of all of them, and I think this movie has a lot of balls. It has a lot of the most memorable quotes from any of the Indiana Jones films and most memorable scenes. So that's my pick. And like I said, I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love Last Crusade. I do not love Crystal Skull. I'm sorry. The Escape Plan franchise. Oh God. To be honest, I don't really care for any of these movies, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick the first Escape Plan, I guess. The second one is garbage. The third one was better than the second one, but if you're saying that it's better than garbage, even though the third one is garbage, it's like the third one smells better than the second one. It's like you have both garbages sitting next to each other and that one smells better than this one. That's not saying much. They're garbage. But I'd just say the first one. Last one he has, here's the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I'd pick the first Beverly Hills Cop. Even though I enjoy all of them, I do like the first one. It definitely has some nostalgia for me. So I'd pick the first Beverly Hills Cop. So that's all the ones he has listed in the description. I have here 22. And I will put those in the description for you guys if you want to do a response to this. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, I hope you'll participate. I just want to thank Chucky Doll once again. Go subscribe to Chucky Doll. He just did the Ninja Turtle reviews where he reviewed every single Ninja Turtle movie. And that was pretty cool, because I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more videos. I know this wasn't made like I usually do in the other room, but I'm really tired tonight, and so I thought I'd just kind of chill out a little bit. Different angle, just a different way of doing this. So yeah, this is Rob signing off. Stay tuned for the next video.